Miss Chipmunk. Mrs. Chipmunk.
Hi.
Hello, Mrs. Chipmunk.
Mrs. Chip. Now.
Come
Hi.
on.
Hi.
She's a
thank you
married.
for
She's a
taking my
married
call.
chipmunk.
Yes,
Eldis.
she is. Yes, she is.
I am. As of 2 months ago, I am.
Wow! Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. And my question is actually kind of related to that. So my mom was, I think something about the wedding process and planning was really stressing her out,
Mm.
and she insisted on giving a speech at the wedding. She was really, she started crying when she realized wasn't planning on asking her.
Oh wow.
She's really upset about that.
Mm.
And so I said she could. And
Do parents normally give speeches? I
then,
feel like they don't. Do they?
I think so.
Really?
I think that's pretty normal.
I guess it's pot. I guess it. Yeah. I've never thought about it. I guess I always think of the best man and the best and like the maid of honor are definite automatic speeches, but I don't feel like parents are automatic. Not all 4 parents give a speech.
Yeah,
right?
I think it's normal.
Each
for
family
like,
gets a representative, basically.
Yeah, I mean, I think usually it's like the dad will say something.
Dad and mom, dad of the bride, mom of the groom type
something
shit.
like that. Yeah.
Damn, they get to dance and
Yeah.
they get to fucking give speeches, dude. The other motherfucker gets nothing. I kind of get where your mom's coming from, but anyway, it seems like that maybe there was it didn't go so smoothly. If I can use my context clues here.
Yeah, exactly. I guess like in kind of on what you were saying before too. My dad is like, it's just my mom, so I feel like she maybe felt like she had to.
I see.
She definitely didn't. It was like just the best man and my maid of honor and her.
Gotcha. Oh, I see. I see.
But yeah, she basically didn't plan at all and then talked about my husband the entire time.
I'm sorry, say it again. I was laughing. She just talked about your husband?
Yeah. The whole time she talked about him, but she didn't mention me at all.
That's hilarious.
Which honestly, in retrospect, like is as time is going on, it's like getting more funny, but it's also like at the time and kind of afterwards, I'm like, what the hell?
Of course, it's a really weird move.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. No, she and it definitely like wasn't the only thing like that from the wedding or that weekend. Like I did like a first dance with her since I don't have my dad, and she like went to go charge her phone instead of getting up to do the dance.
She wasn't ready for the dance.
She was like ready, but then she like walked in the opposite direction.
Interesting.
I don't know.
Yeah, strange.
Yeah.
So okay, so you said it's just your mom, single mom, or did your dad pass away, or what are we talking about?
Yeah, single mom.
Okay, all right. That's I sort of now I don't want to jump to like what kind of relationship do you guys have? Do you guys have a good relationship? Because to me this sounds like something I've encountered, and not to accuse you of being white trash, but something I've encountered with white trash friends of mine who have single moms who like develop a weird jealousy of their kid who just had a better life. Like there's a resentment that the kid, even though the kid did absolutely nothing, and it's almost like she just wishes she was treated better in every way, and it manifests itself in a weird jealousy. It doesn't sound like it's necessarily that to fully, but what is your guys' relationship like in general?
I do think there is truth to
elements
that.
of that. Yes.
There's elements of that. I'm mixed race, and she is the white parent.
Right.
And she, but yeah, no, there's definitely a bit of that where I like went to grad school and have a relationship I'm very happy in, and I think that and kind of like got out of my town.
Right.
In a way
you're living sort of what she wishes her life was, and in a weird way, it's to her credit, right? That's what I never understood about this, is that like it's cause she did a good job. You know what I mean? Like I assume, I don't know, maybe she didn't, and it's in spite of it, which actually would make this make a lot more sense. But You know, I get that. And I think a wedding, we hit, you know, this is another theme that happens on this show. It's like weddings, funerals, and a new baby being born are like these big seismic events where people really check in on sort of their relationships. They're very emotional. It's just it's an event that can really make people go insane. You know, it can bring people together, but it can also bring out some of the worst tendencies in people. And it sounds like your mom kind of, I don't know, to be purely pop psychologist here. It's like this is a manifestation of all of that sort of resentment, and not even necessarily towards you, but just sort of this. She feels like she didn't get a fair shake in a lot of shit, and you're having kind of like this dream life, and maybe it manifested itself like this, is sort of my guess.
Yeah, I think that there's definitely truth to that. I think that makes a lot of sense for our situation. I guess as far as like from my perspective now, I was wondering if you have any thoughts on how to like move forward with a parent like that.
Sure. Well, I mean,
Uh,
so I guess let me ask you this: was she a good parent? Like, was all this stuff because of her sacrifice, or like, I mean, just in your, you know, just being true, like truthful to yourself, like what is your relationship?
oh yeah, I mean we've had ups and downs for sure. As
Mm,
like
bad.
there have been times where we've basically like I try to when we've been best, it's when I'm like a friend to her. When I
Right.
treat her like kind of a crazy old friend, but
Right. But you grew up with her,
we've
like it
also
was
had
just.
tougher.
I'm sorry, it was you and her growing up, right? It's not like you live with like your grandma or your aunt or some shit.
No, 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 that's true. And that part of it absolutely. She in many ways did a good job when I
Yeah.
was growing up, and I have 2 other siblings, and she did a good job with us too. I think it's really like since I've moved out that I've
Right.
started to
I
see the
see. I see.
cracks.
Well, okay. So like in terms of moving forward with a parent like this, I think it is like, look, you do everything we said is kind of true here, right? Where it's like you did get out, for lack of a better word, right? Like, or like she did do a good job. And like, I do think, I think you talk to her about how you felt about the speech if you feel the need to, right? Like, this is kind of 100% up to you, right? Because I think it's about how you feel sort of relating to her. Because I, normally when people ask this, it's about kind of a fully deadbeat parent who's sort of trying to rekindle something or trying to make up for stuff where, you know, your mom was probably, it doesn't sound like she was maybe she made some mistakes, but all parents do. But just from a neutral observer's perspective, sounds like she did a pretty good job, and that I even understand some of her feelings. I don't understand them coming out at you. I understand like it being kind of emotional, and I understand her maybe like feeling a little sorry for herself despite how happy an event this should be. And yes, in a perfect world, you'd want your parent not to center themselves during your wedding, but you know, I will give someone who was a single mom of like a few kids a little slack. You know what I mean? Just from me, right? Again, this is
Yeah.
your mom. It's up to you how you want to approach it. And so for me, it's like it becomes how much this hurt your feelings. It's a ratio of like how hurt your feelings were to how much sort of understanding you can have for your mom's situation. And I think it's really up to you because, you know, moving forward, do you want to give her a pass because she fucking did her best with 3 kids and you got out and your life is pretty fucking sick? So it's not like she did work hard, and so you could give her a full pass if you feel like it, and you can be like, and you can really hold her feet to the fire and be like, hey, that was pretty fucked up of you to like not even mention me. Or there can be some kind of middle ground where you're like, I thought the speech and the thing was a little weird. I don't like how it felt for our relationship. I really love you. I care about you. I would have appreciated if you were, if you sort of were thinking about me a little more. It felt like I was an afterthought. Um, it just really depends on what you want to achieve from that conversation. You know what I mean? Like, because go ahead, Elders.
I think based on the facts, that you're telling us, your mom probably does just deserve some slack here for this speech. Speeches are weird at
People
weddings.
blow speeches for way worse reasons than this. Yeah.
Everyone, like, especially if your mom's winging it. Hey,
she
maybe
shouldn't have winged it. The thing is, she shouldn't have done any of this. We're not disagreeing with you, but go ahead, Elders.
Yeah, if she's winging it, if she's going off the cuff, you just kind of go with the flow in the moment, and whatever happens. I get that, like, you feel a little weird or hurt. I feel like there's history between you and your mom that made the speech feel a lot worse to you, a lot more cringe or embarrassing or something.
I think
in
most
the moment
people,
you're like, okay, now talk about me, like parents do at wedding speeches. But I think, as an outside observer, and everyone else there was also an outside observer, they're probably like, oh, that's so sweet.
There's crazy Barb. She loves her, her son-in-law or whatever.
She's doing her speech in her own charming, wacky little way.
Right.
They're like, oh, that's so nice. She's out here. She's showed out for the wedding. She's here. She's present. She's participating. I think that's what people walked away with. And you're like, Mom, why didn't you fucking say?
Well, they might have said she blew it, but they probably think she blew it enough. Like, if that was me, I'd be like, haha. This fucking whatever. This lady blew the speech, and it was kind of endearing. Probably
you would make that comment at a wedding. Most people wouldn't.
I would, because I look at every.
Most people would raise their eyebrow and just drop it.
Because I look at every public speaking, I judge it like it's stand up, where I'm like, bombed.
So I don't know. Does that resonate at all, Mrs. Chipmunk? Is that are you just being a little hard on Mom? Now, you might have like other things in your relationship that you do want to address, but I would say just let this wedding speech thing go. You don't need to like dig this up again. Maybe there's other stuff you need to address about your guys' relationship, but my instinct here is a little bit that it doesn't really have to do with like this speech.
I sort of agree, but what do you think? Please, we want we talked to you for a second. So, are we on base with any of that? How does that stuff feel?
No, absolutely. I think that that makes a lot of sense, and I do think you're right that I've been a bit harsh on her, and it probably is because of other parts of our relationship that haven't been great, and even other things that happened in the lead up to the wedding. But I hadn't really been thinking about it as much from her, that it could be a jealousy thing. Like, I hadn't been thinking about it that way at all, but it does make a lot of sense. And I do think that some of the, like, she came to my PhD defense somewhat recently as well, and told all of the professors about the process of giving birth to me.
See, that's the thing. The thing about this is the rare time we are ever on the wacky parent side. Like, never on the history of this podcast have we ever heard someone talk about shit like this. But the thing about your mom is she was at the PhD defense. She did something insane, but she was there. You know what I mean? And I feel like that does make sense. That's probably par for the course for your life, where it's like, was this someone that was ready to be a single parent? Probably not. But she really, it seems like, again, we don't know everything, and I'm sure she made some big fuck ups. It does seem like she did her best. And it's like, you just said your PhD defense. Do you know what I mean? It's like looking at, like, it becomes this thing of you're doing really great, and there are definitely things you could, in a sort of like balance sheet, pros and cons, you could hold your mother's feet to the fire for. But I also think she seems that's hilarious. Like, both of these examples are kind of endearing to, again, outsiders. I'm sure to you in the like child-parent relationship, they're like so embarrassing. But to me, she does sound like someone doing her best, like, against the odds were really not on her side, and you turned out great from just what we know about you, right? And so we come from everyone we know with parents like this, their parent just checked out for like 7 years or something, or like was on crack, and maybe, I don't know, maybe she had some drug problems, whatever. But like, we know people whose parents behave like this and like opened a credit card in that kid's name and ruined their credit. You know what I mean? So like, to us, she actually sounds pretty like a pretty good parent.
Yeah.
But that's not, again, if there's stuff that you haven't, like, we just might be missing things here too, right? And if there's stuff that is really serious that you feel like you really need to air out, you can totally do that. But it also sounds like you've come to a good, treating her like a friend at this stage in your life seems like it's what works for you. And now, don't get me wrong, if this behavior sort of continues and at every fucking holiday she tries to like one up you or acts weird and like, does weird shit at family events, then it might be something to address. But if it was just she kind of cracked and blew it at a high pressure event like a wedding where she might have, who knows what might have been going through her emotionally, the jealousy stuff, all this other stuff, then I think she can get a pass for this, provided this does not keep happening.
Yeah, I do believe there's legit stuff in your past and your relationship that needs to be addressed. But what I'm getting from the examples you're giving is more worry of public perception of like your mom, where you need to like reframe that and be like, oh, my mom doesn't know how to talk to professors. It's more like, holy shit, mom, isn't this awesome? My mom's
giving birth is so
my
funny.
mom was a single mom, and now I'm like, she fucking hustled and raised us and did whatever, and now I'm a fucking PhD. Yeah. That's how you should be thinking of yourself, your relationship, whatever. And that does sound like a little sitcom, storybook, whatever, because I bet there is like legitimate tensions in your past that need to get addressed. But give your mom and yourself and your guys' dynamic a little more grace.
Yeah, that's a good point. I hadn't really thought about that through line between the two, but that's good advice. Thank you.
Cool.
Thank you both.
Yeah, and listen, call us back if, in 6 months she slashes your tires and she leaves like, she puts like, it should have been me in lipstick on your mirror. Then it's all a little different. But right now, I think you're doing pretty good.
I think the jealousy thing too is probably legitimate, but it's like, it's a subtle thing too.
It's not I'm not saying it's it's not in the forefront.
She's not like jealous. It's like, hey, in life, when someone else is up, it feels like you're down or something. There's always like imbalance or.
And look, maybe there's a little projection too, right? Because it's like, I have a parental dynamic where one of my parents is very, very completely, unobjectively happy for everything I do with no caveats. And another one of my parents is like, there is this, maybe I'm just projecting here, Mrs. Chipmunk, because I have kind of this, like, I don't ever get a non-backhanded compliment from one of my parents. And so, but it's a different situation. So I just know that these things these kind of dynamics can definitely happen between, people in certain situations. And yeah, I don't think it's like I think it's like very subliminal. I don't even know if she's even realizes she's feeling it, honestly.
Yeah, I think she definitely does the backhanded compliment thing, but I also don't think she's aware.
No, I don't think so.
A lot of the things she does.
And here's the hard part. Even sometimes like having conversations with people that are kind of programmed like this, it's like, is she really gonna get it? You know what I mean? It's like, are you really just wasting your fucking time? And if things are good enough, and again, but we get it. You're smart. We were talking to a fucking PhD elders. We don't have to fucking repeat ourselves. She gets it.
Well, we're street smart.
We're street smart. We went to the
university.
university.
You're just book smart, Mrs.
Yeah,
Chipmunk.
yeah, that's right. That's right, nerd.
Exactly.
Listen to what the fuck we have to say before we fucking give you a swirly 4 eyes. Me and Ellis both wearing glasses right now. But it sounds like you're doing great. We're rooting for you. Call us back if your mom goes insane and does something weird. But I think you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll do. Thank you. Thank you.
You
both.
got it.
Good luck.